Hello everybody! Happy New Year! How are you all doing today? My tone of voice just sounded incredibly stressful. That was not my intention. I'm just kind of processing for the first time that it's a new year. 2016 was weird. That was my experience with 2016. It was awkward, strange, weird, and unnecessary. When is 17 on the other hand? Oh god. I mean, it's no big deal. It's not like I may or may not be moving out of the country in 2017. No big deal. Yeah. Anyway, moving on to today's video, I am not really the kind of person that sets resolutions. No bookish resolutions, no real life resolutions, just no resolutions. What I do at the beginning of New Year is I like to look at all of the books that I read in the previous year and I like to decide which books were the best books that I read. So today, that is what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be showing you guys what I believe are the top 5 books that I read in 2016. These are not in any particular order. I did not rank them because that would be really hard because they are all fantastic. Overall, they really just each individually reminded me of why I love to read so much. The first book that I have here is Stolen by Lucy Christopher. This book stole my heart. I still think about this book all the time to this day. Kind of book that everybody could get something out of. This book is about a girl who is at the airport with her parents one day when she meets this young man there and she gets coffee with him. However, she ends up being kidnapped by him. He takes her to the middle of the desert in Australia, middle of nowhere, and she is stuck there. It is crazy, it is heart-wrenching, it is beautiful. I don't even have a good adjective to describe this book. Just trust me on this one. I just get way too emotional about this book. I just loved it. I loved it a lot. I loved it. Next book that I have here is In 27 Days by Alison Gervais. You guys are in for a treat. So this book I got an advanced reader's copy. It is not out yet, which makes me so mad. I need everybody to read it, but no, I just had to like suffer in all of my own emotions about this book and I don't have any outlet. This book is about a girl who goes to this school, and at this school there's this guy who she doesn't really know that well, but he commits suicide. She doesn't know why, but she feels very, very emotional and connected to this boy whom she'd never even really known that well. This girl ends up coming face to face with death. Death being a real physical person. He proposes a deal. He gives her the option of going 27 days back in the past where she has 27 days to try to prevent this boy from killing himself. This book reminded me so much of Jennifer L. Armentrout's books. It had that same addictive quality to it, that easy style of writing. If you are a Jennifer L. Armentrout fan, you guaranteed will love this book. Next book that I chose is The Winner's Kiss by Marie Rukowski. I had to choose this book because it was the finale in a trilogy that I love so much. It is one of my favorite fantasy trilogies ever, but not the kind of fantasy that has a ton of magic and stuff in it. It's more based on the political intrigue, social dynamics, and the action that occurs in these books. It is the sweetest and the most heart-wrenching, terrible, yet amazing love stories ever. I just thought it was such a perfect and beautiful finish to the trilogy. Even though it was incredibly bittersweet for me to finish it, I just found myself feeling very satisfied with the ending. And the next book that I have is Heartless by Marissa Meyer. And I know a lot of you are probably like, Sophie, what are you doing? You are supposed to read the Lunar Chronicles. And I know, it's just taking a while. A long while. It's gonna happen. In 2017. That's my New Year's resolution. I'm gonna read the Lunar Chronicles in 2017. If I don't, I give all of you permission to yell at me, be mad at me because I broke my promise, but I won't because I never break promises. It's a retelling of Alice in Wonderland and it takes place in a world called Hearts, and it follows a girl named Catherine who is meant to marry the king. She ends up meeting the Jess, who she ends up entering a secret courtship with. This book centers around their developing relationship and the scandal behind it. If you would like to hear me go into more depth about it, I do have a book review on this, so I'll leave a link to that in the description. For me, when I read a book and it just fully sucks me in that way where I don't even want to get up to drink water or eat food, that's when I know it is going to be a favorite of mine. So I added this book to my favorites list because it definitely is one of my favorites. So good job, Marissa Meyer. You wrote such an amazing standalone, but you also crushed my poor little heart into tiny little pieces, and I'm kind of resentful, but I loved every second of it. And the last and final book of this video is one that you guys probably won't be surprised to see, and some of you probably maybe were waiting for me to mention. That is is, of course, Empire Storms by Sarah J Maas. It is not a secret that this series is my favorite series ever, so of course I had to leave this one for last. I just love Sarah J Maas more and more with every single book that she writes. I got a signed copy of this book this time, which is really embarrassing for me to admit this, but I cried when I got it. If for some reason you do not know what this book is and you've never heard of Sarah J Maas, you are probably living in a cave. But that's okay, because that just gives me the opportunity to tell you to read these books. It was exciting. It was incredibly emotional. It was beautiful. It may or may not be my favorites. I wasn't going to play favorites in this video, but it's my favorite. Before I wrap things up for today, I wanted to announce that I am going to be doing a Q&A video. You guys have been asking me for one, so here it is. I wanted to just do a fun little casual Q&A to answer the questions that you guys have been asking me lately, whether it's book related or non-book related. You can go ahead and leave any of your questions in the comments below on this video, or if you don't want to comment on YouTube, you can also tweet your questions to me at Sophie Series. It is the same username as my YouTube channel. I'm excited to see what kind of questions you guys ask me, and I will be filming that very soon, so keep an eye out for that. I hope that you all enjoyed today's video. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up. I hope that you all having yourselves a fabulous day, and I will see you guys next time.